Because, fun fact, kids, this is not exactly what we would like to call a big thing. This isn't like a really common, franchise I can just click on and say, here it is, haha. So, in kind of a blind hope, I just typed in Western Wuxia. Or, it was a Wuxia Western. That's what I typed in initially. And this popped up. Far West. And I was curious. I'm like, Far West? And I looked at some of the... I'm like, oh, this looks kind of exactly up my alley. This is almost exactly what I was looking to do. Like, oh. This is also something I was planning on doing. God damn it. But I was like, oh, this seems kind of interesting. So I did a little digging. This is Far West, a Western Wuxia mashup adventure game. I'm like, oh no, someone already did what I was doing. And I was actually kind of bummered out. I'm like, I thought I had something pretty unique here. Then I learned what happened. So I hit comments. Obviously, go to comments. Form is now broken too. If nothing else has met our current expectations. Expect nothing and I'm still let down. Postponed again with a tweet. And I'm thinking like 2019 maybe. Maybe it's like a 2-year thing. No. This project was back in 2011. Yeah, this is a 2011 game. It got fully funded. And 717 backers with $49,000. And as you can kind of see here, by this Gareth Michael Sakara, I think it's Sakara. Gareth Michael Sakura. 717 backers, 49,000, only out of 5,000. That's all he needed. He needed $5,000. And he did it. And generally speaking, this is exactly what I was looking to do. However, one thing that kind of hit me was like, is a transmedia project. That's the first really, that's the first one of the magic, the first things you see, a transmedia project. I did a little digging. And here we are in 2021, 10 years, a decade. The original Far West Kickstarter was in 2011. The game never came out. The game has, we're in the home stretch. Let's see, the home stretch blog post was from 2015. We're in the home stretch, everybody. 2015. So, okay, what's the most recent one? Mind you, that's four down. That's 4 down. This isn't this hasn't been updated really at all. This is 2021. This came out in February 2021. February. That's nuts, even thinking about it. The year Far West finally gets released. It did not get released. It is not out yet. He has been delayed again. And I looked at the guy. This is the guy. This is Gareth M. Skarka. Yeah, he's a human being on the internet, all right. And I'm like, all right, this is cool. He does a lot of stuff. Designer, he's a game designer. That's the first thing you really see about him. Writer, game designer, consultant, publisher, he, him, loudmouth, socialist, agitator, anti-fashion, and abolitionist. Yeah, he's a real class act. And this is his thing. What's his current project? Far West, comic work, unannounced fiction projects. All right. What is this guy actually written? I was actually like, this name sounds awfully familiar. Really familiar. Yeah, he wrote Hong Kong Action Theater. He co-wrote Skull and Bones, Mystic Vistas, and he's done a lot of other things. Because apparently he's co-designed the Doctor Who game, the Star Trek game. He has done the not the Final Fantasy, the FFG, Fantasy Flight Games version of Legend of the Five Rings. Like, this guy's like a legit developer. This is like a legit human being who does game design stuff, and that's weird to think. But like right here, right, Kickstarter came. The role-playing intended for release December 2011, but still complete as the 10th anniversary of the project's successful funding. He will release the product despite the fact no progress has been demonstrated for over a decade. I don't get this guy. Like, it's really weird. Like, this guy's worked on a bunch of stuff, but this is the one game that has never come up. And he posts all the time on fucking Twitter. And like, this was 2 hours ago. Like, this guy never shuts up, rather than, I think, writing or doing anything like that. And I was fascinated by it. Absolutely fascinated by this man. Because it's... Like, who are you? Like, what do you do? Why are you the way that you are? And yeah, he is a very political man. And fucking fortunately, God, I hate political people at this point, and this was coming from a political scientist. Yeah, no, this is what this guy has done. He does exactly what I was wanting to do. And here apparently is another one, Red Ram W4 Adventure Generic Starter Scene. This is for Weird Wuxia Wild West. That's not a good sign. But yeah, like, oh, it's 2 pages. Okay, it's not really a game then. Cool. Poggers. But yeah, that's kind of a little case, a mini case, you could say. Just this guy is a strange duck. We learned a little bit about Far West. And I might do another Kickstarter video, actually, of just going through and just learning about it. Because apparently, let's see, the forum died. Yeah, the forum is dead. So we have nothing there. What's the Far West Society? Fan membership community available via subscription. Has the ability to add material to the official Far West canon. What do I need to do to get the official Far West membership? $10 plus $10 for 6 months. Absolutely not. What's the downloads? I can buy a fucking this, I guess. Once Upon a Star, you can buy the album for $5 for 5 songs. Tales of the Far West, which is a book, and Adamant Entertainments. Show me who you are. Amble's map. Like, what's Adamant Entertainment? Like, who are you guys? Apparently these are the guys working on it, or at least the head guy. So what... Skull and Bones. Oh, that's not a good sign. Adamant expanding list of properties include critically acclaimed Thrilling Tales, Mars, Pulp series, Far West, even though it's not out, the forthcoming Tales of New Crucible, a licensed Buckaroo Banzai. Like, Tales of, let's see, has this ever come out? No. Okay, so that never happened. Let's do Buckaroo Banzai. What happened to Buckaroo Banzai? 2011. Wherefore art thou, Buckaroo Banzai? You're like, Tales of New Crucible, Great Grand Brewing out there somewhere, but no one knows if we'll get a taste of it. Yeah, I don't... Yeah, right here. Where art thou? This is the same site where I kind of was going under, like, yeah, like, even though Denmark prior to the Far West fiasco. Why is this? Uh, yeah. So okay. So like, what? I don't understand these people. Yeah, the concept actually. Hello, Sir Salamander. The concept looks super interesting. Shame nothing came of it. Yeah, I think. I think there's two things that could occur because I was reading some bits and pieces about it, and what I managed to put together was that he was working with a bunch of people, and then one of his friends died. That kind of put everything on hold for a while, and then he decided to rewrite and do everything himself, and yeah, like rewrite the entire game. And he decided to use the OpenD6 system. If you've never heard of OpenD6, it's a really pretty solid system. Open source. I guess you'd call it open source, but like OpenD6, it's right here. You can get everything. It's based off the old West End Games book. That's what he said he was going to use, but I am not. Am I hopeful? Am I going to go out there, jump up, and say it's going to happen? I don't think so. I honestly don't think it's going to happen. Also, thank you for following. I honestly don't believe it'll happen. West End did Star Wars. West End did do Star Wars. Uh, yeah, the original Star Wars D6 system was that, and I believe it was the. If I believe that, if I got my timeline correct, I'm looking at a few West End games this weekend actually, so I've been having to do a little bit of research. They got the license for Star Wars. They ended up making a Ghostbusters game, which was really popular. They then kind of formalized everything down into the official, you could say, D6 system, which went public, which went open domain in like 2006 ish, around that time, because the lead developer was like, I don't trust myself with D6. Like, the tragedy of West End games is a nightmare on wheels. Like, you read it, you're like, holy shit. Like you want to believe, like, it just isn't real based on like just the quality of stuff they actually had, and just watching it crumble. It was actually kind of sad. But yeah, no, this is far west. I don't really think it's going to happen, but I think he's also kind of on the same. I think he is on the same caliber as what's his name? Third Act Publishing, and the complete disaster area that is that is three act, Third Act Publishing, which is a bizarre situation of failed Kickstarters, of just bad ideas and wrestling lessons.